Owen Shroyer is a great reporter for InfoWars, and you notice usually he's very pro-police officer, very, pro-law and order, but I sent him to Houston with 3 of our reporters, and they've all split up, and he is really upset. He's not inside the Super Bowl. He was telling our crew that you can be like a half mile away. They're not letting you walk down the street as a reporter in Texas. And I know, by the way, I know the police chief down there. I'm friends with him, Arde Saveda, but he just got down there. I could probably call his cell phone. I could right now. In fact, I could call the police chief right now. I might actually do that and say, what are you doing? They're not letting you talk to people on the streets of Houston?
So, Alex, there's a weird dynamic happening now. And law enforcement knows who we are. They know who I am. And we saw a little bit of it in Washington.
We're going to try to boost your mic because you don't have external mic. You've got internal mic on. I love you guys. I sent like 4 people there. How are you by yourself, bro?
We just get separated, and you can't get them out. All the streets are blocked. I'd have to walk 5 miles to get to the other side of the stadium. Now there's a helicopter. The Texas DPS is actually hovering right above us here. I'll try to get a shot.
Yeah, show us. Now, this is really bad audio. Can you guys boost this so folks can hear it, or do I have to get out of this interview? Because I can barely hear. Does that mean the crowd can hear? All right, I can barely hear him. You're saying it's fine on air, so I believe it. That he is definitely above you, Owen. So the police know who you are, and you're an evil reporter. They've always been ordered to, like, stop reporters talking to people, because what they don't want is they don't want anybody getting publicity with the big corporations, obviously. Lady Gaga and, George Herbert Walker Bush and the other New World Order people. So I don't even care if you're on screen. Just get up next to the mic that's, or aim the camera at the helicopter and then get up against the mic on the phone since you're hooked up wrong and tell me what they're doing to you, Owen.
All right. Is that better? Can you hear me now, Alex?
That's better. Go ahead.
Okay, so yeah, I don't know what's going on. This helicopter just started hovering right above me. Literally just started hovering.
No, I see it. So tell us what the police are doing to you. This is very shameful.
So here's the story. So in Washington, D.C., some of the police knew who we were, and they said, hey, we got your back, let's not see any violence. And then in Austin, some of the police knew who I were, and they said, hey, Shroyer, try not to antagonize too much. But they never stopped me from actually speaking to people. Alex, I caught it on video. I'm over here talking to the protesters, and the cops made me leave. They made me leave, Alex. I couldn't believe it. And here's the thing. And the helicopter's going away now. Can you hear me better, Alex?
Yes, I can.
This is an interesting dynamic that I think we need to talk about. So, I've had run-ins with police that make you dislike police, right? We've always been against the police state, but we see how the globalists are trying to use.
Sure, they're trying to make them the enemy. They're trying to cause a clash of civilizations, a civil war. And so the average cop is not at fault for what's happening in the country.
And we recognize that. But what's happening now is, and I blame this on the protests that have gotten violent. So the protests have gotten so violent.
No, it happened to me in D.C. They'd be beating me up, and I would fight back, and the cops would come threaten me. I experienced it.
So now they're just shutting down free speech, Alex.
No, that's what it is. Bring the Muslims in. They bring the Muslims in. They shoot and bomb and stab. So all of us lose free speech, not to make them mad. The Black Lives Matter people come out and say, kill cops, everything. We go expose them, and the answer is we're bad because we're antagonizing the dumbasses. No, we're using our free speech. It's America against the problem.
And Alex, there wasn't any. All the protesters that I've been talking to have been nice people. Nobody's out here being violent. We were just having. So
obviously, then it's not a Soros group. What is it? I mean, what protest group is it?
Well, the group that I'm talking about right now was it was an anti North Dakota pipeline. They're anti-pipeline.
Okay, so those are environmentalists. They got a reasonable point. Okay, I get it.
And they were talking, and we were just having a conversation. And I'm talking to this one guy.
Wow, so you finally found real protesters that'll talk to you.
And I have to give them credit, Alex. There's actually the people that I've ran into out here that are demonstrating have all been peaceful. They've all had good points. They've all been able to back them up.
And let's be clear, normally that's not the case.
Right, and we've documented that, hundreds of times now.
Well, I can't wait till you upload this cop. I mean, these police, what'd they say to you?
So I'm just standing here. I'm talking to these people, and the cop just comes and he just shoves me away. He says, quit talking, quit agitating. And then the whole thing, literally, the cop is literally just pushing me away from them. I'm saying, this is my First Amendment. You're stopping my First Amendment. He goes, you're agitating. You're instigating.
No, I mean, I know what the orders were. It was probably, don't let there be a riot at the Super Bowl. stop it at any cost. But, I mean, just because at Berkeley they beat people up doesn't mean you lose your First Amendment. I'm sorry. I'm gonna call R.D. Saveda. I should try it right now. Hold on. Keep going.
Well, and it's strange because, again, it's not like we were getting violent. We were just having a conversation. I'm literally just talking to this guy. I'm filming. He's talking. He's telling me why he's protesting. And I get shuffled off by the police. And look, dude, there's 8 police on every block. There's a total police state here in Houston. I'm having to do this broadcast live. I don't want the police to be my enemy. I don't want to talk bad about the police, but they're stopping my First Amendment right.
Hold on, I got 2 numbers for R.D. Saveda. Let me see if he answers.
So now I have to sit here in front of the police and complain about how they're stopping my First Amendment right. And they all look at me like I'm the bad guy. No, you stopped my First Amendment right, and it wasn't.
Hello?
Hey, hold on. Hey, police chief, how you doing?
You can hear me. I can't hear you. Just text me.
Are you inside the Super Bowl?
Can't hear you.
Can you hear me, Art? Yeah, I just called the police chief. Well, so I'm going to call him once the show's over. And I'm going to get it. He's probably inside the Super Bowl. Did you hear that? That's hilarious.
That's crazy.
He used to be the Austin police chief. He's a nice guy. He's really responsive, and he never did that here in Austin. In fact, the cops got better about free speech when he was here. He had some problems too, but you know, in his heart, he didn't like the whole socialist. You know, he's a Cuban American, so he doesn't like communists. That's a positive thing. But I will get to the bottom of this. I'm going to call him. All right.
All right.
For whatever reason, he couldn't hear me. So listen, we only have a few minutes left of the broadcast. What are the other points to make here?
We need to bring this to a head, Alex. The protesters that are protesting Donald Trump, they say they don't want a dictator. They're protesting Donald Trump because they're afraid he's going to be a dictator. They're afraid about martial law, the police state. They don't realize that their actions are going to make Donald Trump a dictator. Their actions are going to bring in the police state. It's already happening, Alex. It's already happening. And it's all because of the George Soros violent protest. He's going to get what he wants. He's going to get what he wants.
No, that's it. They destabilize, and they have a soft civil war, then they take all of our rights when they did it. Just like Obama floods us with unvetted Islamicists, Trump finally tries to do something because of all the terror attacks, and then they have a judge block him and say the president doesn't have the power to do that when he clearly does.
Yeah, they say it's unconstitutional when there's literally bills that say it's well within his legal stature to make the moves that Donald Trump has done. But again, it's not even about policy to these people, Alex. You can try to talk to them. They don't know the first thing about policy. They don't know.
No, I understand. Well, listen, you're doing a great job. Do some live feeds out there. Go try to talk to protesters again when the cops come over and say, hey, I'm live on air. Just say, we're calling R.D. Saveda. What are your orders? I'm not agitating. Just because you define me talking to a crowd, I wouldn't talk loud, though, as that doesn't mean that's so, or do whatever you want, but upload that video too. You're doing a great job. I'm out of time. I appreciate you, brother.
All right, Alex, I love you. I'll get that video up right now.
You bet. More feeds at Infowars.com, PrisonPlanet.com. A lot of articles, stuff I didn't get to. There's so much.